what's up, Skyball? Here with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday. I don't know what the date is. The date is 6/17. That's June 17th in the year 2022. I mean, I don't know why I gave you the date, honestly. Just kind of something I've always done, so why should I change it? How are you doing out there in the world? I'm doing well, except for a little bit of a sinus condition. It's kind of funny. Got back from CineGear in LA, and the moment I stepped outside in Austin, my sinuses went just smacked me, and there's a Sahara dust cloud that has moved in. That happens quite a bit, apparently. I remember hearing about it and seeing it in the past. It just gives you horrible air quality. So I've just got sinus infection. So that's why I sound funny and a little off, and I will be coughing periodically to kind of get the stuffs and the junks out of my stuffs. But yeah, so I'm live. I'm live, and no one's on. That's awesome. But congrats. I mean, for me, because I'm like the person that's on here. Wow, it's been a long time. I guess I'm a little rusty. Got to get those videos out, which I am reinvigorated now. I got LA was supposed to kind of like give me a swift kick in the rear end to motivate me, and it did to a point, but there was something else that really motivated me, that made me feel great. Right after a word from our sponsor, it's hold on. There we go. Reach. Hello, Reach. How are you, Reach? Smiley face. I have to cough again. Oh, there we go. No, I don't have the COVIDs. No, what really got me motivated, honestly, and it kind of took me aback quite a bit. I had several people walk up to me or search me out or recognize me and just thank me for the channel and tell me what a great channel that I have, and that how they enjoy my videos, and or how one particular video made something for them. And I mean, I was not expecting that at all. I was literally going to hang out with friends and all that, but just having several people do that, it was quite a few, actually. It was kind of hilarious. It really gave me kind of a sense that, okay, maybe I am on the mark. Maybe maybe I am doing the right types of videos and stuffs and things. So yeah, that was a nice welcome kick in the rear. It just made me happy. Made me very happy. Hello, Bill. How are you? It it was fun. CineGear was a blast. It's nothing like it was 3+ years ago. 2019 was the last real one, but it was much bigger than last year. And I do have, you already saw one video. I do have several other videos that I can compile out, and we'll get those out shortly. I was on a job the last 2.5 days, so I literally came back the next day, out on a job, and just got back. Today is my first day off since, well, the whole time. I was going to say, yeah, I have more videos. They're going to be more of those like showing off kind of videos, or presentation type, where I went up to brands that brands that I wanted to see something on, or wanted to learn about one of their products, or something that just completely caught my eye and I wanted to find out more about it. I got some more of those videos, so those will be coming out here really soon. No real delays on those. Just I got to edit them, but they're like, they're long segments. So I need to learn how to use my freaking microphone. Now I was like It's kind of funny. I was going with some friends, and I was like, I want to bring my Komodo. I want to bring my Komodo out there, and maybe I could get it to go red. I could take a picture at red, so it can kind of go back home. And my friends were like, "No, don't bring a camera, dude. You're not going to use a camera." And I'm like, "Fine." So I didn't bring a camera, and then I was like, "I need a camera." So I grabbed and I made up the whole kit for a GoPro 10, just small and compact, but a full kit. And then I was like, I need to bring a camera, better camera. So I brought the A7 IV, and I carried it around, and I thought, well, I could use the little Rode wireless goes. That way I could hand one to someone, and I can have one, and it'll be great. And I put the microphone right here. I didn't put the little fuzzy on there. I'm like, I don't need the fuzzy. I'm not in the wind. And I don't use these microphones very often, as you can tell. But for whatever reason, every time I would clip it on, hard to see, but I mean, like I would clip it on inside my shirt, and it would turn like this. And so the microphone, which was there, would just go right into my throat. And so all you hear is, which you may have heard on that video. That it got pretty bad. I was like, wow, really? Ugh. Yeah, Kevin says you do stand out in the crowd. I do. Hello, old Schreider. Old Schreider? Nice. 08. Oh, it's a 08. Changed channel name. Very interesting. But the, uh, so I got a lot of videos. There's lots of cool stuff to talk about. Um, Definitely lined up some review stuff to show. There were some really interesting things there. It was also kind of funny. I'm walking by the Airy booth, and the guy goes, Scott. I'm like, yes, hi. And he's like, hey, come here. And I saw him kind of look down at my tag, and and I came over and he was talking to me like he knew me. And I was like, I was, being just normal, just talking. But I stopped and I said, did you just look at my tag earlier and call me out, or did you know who I am? Because I was just like, it was literally like the first person that recognized me. And I think I just blew the story. Wow, way to go, Scott! Kill that punchline right off the bat. No, he's like, no, I know who you are. You have the fastest intro in all of YouTube. I was like, okay, guess he knows who I am. But that was kind of funny over there at Airy. I mean, just kind of fun. Um, Reach says, I've had good luck putting them on my pecs versus the neck portion. Yeah, I saw several people doing that. Like afterwards, I was like, those people look silly. And then when I get home and I listen to the audio, I'm like, or actually, I'm more like, oh, and we have a puppy cam. We have the puppy cam up, and we have Mr. Hands. Woo! So we can do the super source, which is puppy cam, me, and me. There we go. Yeah, I will. I mean, honestly, what I really intended to do with those microphones originally, I was going to review them, but I never really used them. I was going to get some small lavs for them, so that way I could just really do a lav, because I really like lavs much better than a cube sitting on your chest. Seems kind of weird. Tommy says only one like. Is that true? I think we could fix that. I'm going to go over there and like my own stream. I'm going to do that. One like. That's sad. I bet if everybody clicked like at the exact same time, YouTube would be like, we're only going to give it one more like. We should test that. Yeah. You might just say Ollie. Really? Around here, that's called Ollie. Interesting. Nice spelling. I like that. Pre-ordered Alexa 35 yesterday. Just gonna take 1 year or so. It looks like a really nice camera offering. I spent some time with it. I mean, it's an Alexa. It just has more dynamic range, and I mean, it feels like a natural progression of Alexa, and it, uh, I mean, it makes a pretty image. I mean, it's definitely noticeable over the original Alexa or the Aleph 3 sensor. Um, I would, Tommy, you're stuttering a lot. Yeah, I'm stuttering a lot because I got a sinus infection. Hard to, hard to stutter, sniffle, drink, all that good stuff. Um, the I'm also trying to compose everything that I'm saying. The Alexa, I mean, it seems like a really nice. It's bigger. It's like the size of an LF, so it's not small. And you know, I asked the question. We had several other conversations that weren't on camera, but they can't really make it smaller. I'm sure. I mean, I would place money on it that they will, but I mean, they basically said they needed it to be that big just to be able to handle the heat that it puts out. Um, but nice image. It's go cam. I really like competition in the cinema world because it it pushes everything forward. And it's kind of funny because people are like, "Oh, the Red's nothing like an Airy. Airy's the best." But clearly, and I'm not knocking Airy here. I'm just knocking people who make those kinds of statements. I'm just tapping them on the shoulder. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, hey, I'm like, hey, could you like settle down just a tad there? The Can't find the button. There it is. Uh, yeah, the Red did so much to push the industry way more forward than probably the industry would be today if it wasn't for Red. And the way I would describe that is you can see validation in a lot of Red's decisions all the way back from DSMC 1 and some in DSMC 2 with the Alexa 35. So they didn't just do airy stuff. They looked at what was working on other camera brands and they incorporated that into the Alexa 35 with like the external modules. You can have other modules. I mean, a lot of that stuff is interesting. They're using the codecs. They're still using the expensive SSDs. The dynamic range is 17. I mean, there's quite a bit to it. It's pretty cool. Someday I'll get to shoot with it, and I'll let you know. But Ollie, cool. You're gonna have the Alexa. When did they tell you when you're gonna get it? Because I had heard that they had booked up all the way through 2024 on these, or somewhere in 2024. I know there was a rental house that had put in an order for 100, so they wanted to be the first. Um, so I would be interested to see, Ali, where you where you are in the queue. You're stuttering a lot. Yes, I am. Any non-aperture lights that grabbed your eyes at CineGear? Yeah, there were some cool lights. I took a long look at Nanlite. Mostly they're dimmers because, as I've pointed out in the past, the dimming circuits on the aperture can at times show up, even with high speed mode and frequencies enabled. And so I learned rapidly scrim, don't dim with the aperture lights, and I think they might address some of that a little bit in the future. But the Nan lights didn't have that issue. But the Nan lights had some other weird issues. But the Nan lights look cool. the ProLight 675. I think it's the 675. That's a big light. I've got some information on the Nanlite. I got some information or some video information. I got some video information on the ProLight. I mean, there were a ton. I mean, a ton of LED lights there. But those were the ones that particularly grabbed my attention. And of course, Aperture did have their 600, their Aperture 600C, which is kind of cool. It really is. Played a lot with that. Aperture, by the way, took the booth to the next level, kind of the next level of what a Sony and a Canon, a Panasonic, and all those have done in the past. They actually had two set scenes that were you could light, and you could use Sidus Link and light them and control them all. It was kind of nice. It was pretty well done. I mean, they had this one. It was like a little campfire scene outside of a cabin. It looked like a swamp, and I turned. And I was like, "You're missing Kermit the Frog here. I mean, just you really need Kermit the Frog with a little banjo playing. It would be perfect." Tommy says, "No, your stream, not you." Oh well. Oh yeah, we got that. So yeah, the stream is stuttering because the internet has been kind of poo-poo today. But we have exciting news. You ready? You ready for it? My Starlink is confirmed, and it's shipping. Here it comes. Yay, Starlink! That's what I'm really looking forward to. So let's hope. We'll have to see where I have to install it with all these trees, but I'll find a place. But Starlink, I get Starlink finally. Starlink, Elon, thank you. I'm sure you got all my messages, and you're like, give that guy Starlink. But yeah, I should have it, I think, in about a week. I know my other parts have already shipped, so we'll see. But I'm looking forward to none of the stuttering stuff. That'd be great. Ali says, just had the best feeling investing in the new Arri system as no other camera has paid itself. Yeah, Arri definitely gets the rental market really well. And it gets the requested market a lot. It's going to be a popular camera, for sure. I know there are tons and tons that were sold. And good. I mean, great for the industry. I mean, we're going to see some amazing stuff shown on this stuff. Danny says, I'm in the Aperture camp, but Hive is a popular industry insider choice. I have used Hive, and I didn't have a problem so much with Hive, but I mean, I like Hive. There was something about the Hive that just wasn't syncing well with me, and I played with the 100 and the 200, and then I got to test a little bit the 575, I think it was. The output just wasn't doing it for me. But there's a light for everyone. There's a camera for everyone. The right tool for the job. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with it. It wasn't what I truly wanted. Let's say it that way. But I get you, Danny. I get you. Ollie says, yeah, like a year minimum. I live in Germany, so they basically said the rental houses have priority. So I basically, yeah, and that's on purpose, I'm sure. And I would bet that the rental house that put in the initial first order of 100, that was probably on purpose to make sure that if you need one of the new Alexis 35s in Hollywood, you're going to be renting from them. I edit. Good afternoon. All right, Rex is just kind of pooped. And unfortunately, the GoPro still will not charge. It doesn't drain fast, but it won't charge. It won't keep up plugged in. And for whatever reason, when you plug it into an HDMI, in video mode, it's exceptionally noisy, like really noisy. But in photo mode, it's not. So why? It makes no sense. And you have no control. When it's on HDMI and video mode, you have no control. And it says, congratulations on Starlink. I know, I feel like I won the lottery here. I'm going to get high speed internet. Although I keep reading that they keep like decreasing the speeds. What I really need, I need more than 2 megabits to YouTube upload. Because when mine is performing at its best, my top speed is 2 megabits to YouTube. I I don't know what it is. My speed tests say, oh, you got 22 megabits upload. But any single source, any single location, any single connection, 2 megabits. Sucks. And I've had them, the ISP, look at that many, many times. And I just don't think they care. And quite honestly, in a few weeks, I probably won't care either. Denny says, Starlink upstream bandwidth and latency are not too exciting for live stream. Well, don't don't poo poo on it, Danny. I need it. I need it. I have not seen anybody live stream on it, so I'm just kind of hoping it'll be okay. It can't be worse than mine. I mean, quite honestly, my latency is right up there with what they're doing. My latency is always between like 45 and 60 milliseconds all the time. The bandwidth, like I said, I get two to YouTube is all it ever gives me. And I've seen people with Starlink publish videos up to YouTube, and they get up there much faster than mine. So I'm going to assume it's better. What area showed the most innovation this year? That's a good question, Kevin. What did I see? Innovation. And that's the tough one there because it's not which one showed the most most products because that would be LEDs. There wasn't a whole lot of innovation in LEDs for this year. I don't know. You stumped me. I don't think I saw any grouping of anything that was super innovative. I saw a bunch of innovative stuff, but they were all like cherry pick here and there, different parts. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Way to stump me, Kevin. I mean, really. Doggone. Surely Panavision or Vantage, or they've ordered. I don't know. It might be Vantage. I know that Boca Rentals there, and they're like a little further southwest of Hollywood, which is an amazing place, by the way. Boca Rentals. Wow, I went over there and hung out, and man, that place has got everything, and I'm sure. I mean, it's literally the way I expect a camera rental house to be in the future. It's got a great vibe, a great atmosphere. I shot a little bit of video there. I couldn't shoot all the stuff because there was like, I mean, I went to where they keep stock, and I mean, the amount of lenses is it was. I mean, I wanted to cry. I was like, oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that one. It was phenomenal. By the way, the Cooke S8s, they are beautiful lenses. Really nice lenses. But yeah, I would imagine pretty much every LA rental house wanted to get those things on set as fast as possible. So they probably all ordered as many as you can. Need a microwave link to the I-35 corridor. Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know where I would go because no one has any high speed anywhere. I'd say 30 miles from me in a diameter. I don't know anybody that has high speed. It's just we're just such a well. I mean, I-35 as the crow flies. That's like 45 miles away, 40 miles away. So yeah, it would it'd be nice. I mean, if I could get fiber pulled out here and it was reasonable, which it's not going to be, I would totally do it. Brandon, hello, Brandon. At NAB, it was crazy editing software for Final Cut Pro. I didn't see, I didn't see a lot of that. I saw Adobe with it was there. They had a nice little party. Frame.io was there, which was cool. I definitely love some Frame.io. Um, I didn't really see much for Final Cut. That's interesting. But CineGear is definitely more towards the high end, and maybe they just didn't feel like it was their niche. Niche, yeah, maybe don't know. I can't remember what brand, but watching them do sound design in real time was absolutely mind blowing. I didn't see any of that, so that must be something that they were doing at NAB. That's cool. Kevin says no problem. Danny says, I know you're a red guy, but tell us about your audio kit. Well, when I do audio, I mean, it 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 definitely I do it to a point, and then you get a sound person because they're better at it. And once you're at that point, you need someone to actually monitor everything, and I got too much to do. But typically, what I roll with on like interview stuff and simple sound, I use the Sennheiser Lavs. These are definitely one of my favorites. These are the G3s. They got the G4s now. Just the standard Sennheisers. Um, and then for a shotgun, I stopped using shotguns a while back because I literally at that point I need a sound person to sit there and hold to follow for especially for outside stuff. So I just kind of stopped doing. I have an NTG2. Before that, I had a Seiken CSR2 and an NTG3. The Seiken was far better than the Rode. But what I typically use a lot is the Octava supercardioid microphone. It's the little Russian, I think it's Russian. That's a great microphone that I usually for interviews, I'll just put it on a boom pole and just kind of have the little boom holder thing and place it above it. And I really get great results using all that. All of that goes into like if I'm shooting with red or any of these, it'll go into like the Zoom H6, and then I come out of the H6 and go into the red. I do that to have triple redundancy because I'm recording two on the H6, and then goes into the red as a third. But what I found was there's no delay on the H6 going in and out. The preamps are better than on the red. I can boost the output to not have to use any gain on the red. And so I end up using the audio out of the red. So it works out really nice. Tariq, I've been watching your videos, except for the last one that I couldn't understand because it was in Turkish. It's been a while since I caught up. Yes it has. Ollie says, I imagine the teased V Raptor Super 35 having a hard time now that Ari meets all the streaming requirements. I don't think I would go so far as to say that. I think I think you're going to find that the Super 35 is probably going to be pretty darn popular. And and I've now seen it. It's cool. It's that is definitely the V Raptor version I'm going to get. Now, what I don't know is which one he's going to build first. Um, I think he's going. My guess is it's probably going to be the V Raptor XL, which I've also seen. Very cool. Um, I think because Jared said he could only, with all the supply chain issues, he could only really dedicate to build one of the Super 35 chassis first. So you kind of put it out there. Do you want the XL or the V Raptor form factor? I suspect that the XL is going to be the more popular option. So they're probably going to run with that one first, which will be fine because with everything going on, that'll probably line up with my timeline to be able to buy the Super 35 V Raptor version anyway. But the cool thing on the cool, some people will be like, well, that's not cool, but it is cool. Um, it's actually Super 35 size. So when you look at the sensor, it's much smaller than you're thinking because it's literally Super 35. Whereas like Komodo is like 0.87 of full frame, and no, that's Dragon. Dragon 6K is 0.87, and the Dragon or Komodo is like 0.86, 85, something like that. They're somewhere in between Super 35 and full frame. So what that means is that all Super 35 glass is going to cover perfectly on the new Super 35 drag or Raptor. I don't know what they're going to call it. V Raptor 35. I don't know, but it's cool. It's really cool. It's really cool. And I suspect, Ollie, I think you're going to find uh, it being a new premium sensor like V Raptor, like Alexa 35. They're all going to be playing in the same sandbox, and I suspect you're going to find more and more people moving around pretty easily. I think it's actually, I think the XL is going to potentially sell more, the XL35, than the full frame. I don't know. My gut tells me that. We'll see. Not because it's bad or anything. I get it. Yep, yep. But people know what. Yeah, people use what they know. It is true. It is true. But what I think is at some point, people are going to click to wait, Alexa 35 is an airy version of a red. They're very similar in design. The red will far outdo it as far as frame rates and resolution, like way out. Dynamic range, they're pretty close. Super 35, they're pretty. Why is my throat dry? It's going to be interesting. What I think is the Alexa 35 is probably a knockout of the park home run for Airy. But when XL comes with red, and then I think Super 35 XL, I think you're going to find way more of those out there. But we'll see. And in the end, isn't everything better because of it? I think so. Sennheiser is coming out with a new digital evolution wireless, but no camera receivers that I can tell. Interesting. Man, I have a love-hate with digital and analog on wireless. I'm sticking to my analogs for so much. I apologize for the sniffles. I really do. It's not anything but freaking Sahara dust cloud that blew into Texas and just threw me on my rear end. But yeah, I mean, if they can build this with removable double A's or rechargeable packs that are long lasting, I might check out the Sennheiser at this point. But I mean, there's really nothing wrong with these. I really love these. Lewis says, "Hi Scott, I'm a fan from Mexico. Saludos." Hey Lewis, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate that. I really enjoy. Have to put up the puppy cam. I really enjoy saying hello to people all over the world, and it's fun. Like people from England that walked up to me in CineGear. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's kind of fun. People from Germany is like, "Oh, hey." It says I use the same audio config with a Zoom H6 and Red. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really dig it. I did not get a chance when I was testing the V Raptor to use their audio interface. I literally didn't have the XLRs, so I would be interested to see if or how much their audio preamps have improved since like DSMC two. But yeah, at some point I will get to. Also, I have a fun toy to play with for a little bit, just a little bit. But this is the that's the dog. This is the full spectrum Komodo, and this was modified by Breakthrough, and so you can shoot IR with it. It's it's going to be interesting. I will see what it does because I have some preconceived notions of what I believe it's going to do. I've seen some stuff from it. It looks really cool, but I think there's some potentials in there for negatives, and we'll just have to see. But I am looking forward to putting that through its paces. We are going to do a literal, like one to one, same lens, same subject matter, same time of day, everything, because I have two of everything to do that test. So we were going to see. We're going to find out. Does full spectrum? Does it help the colors on getting a look on there? Plus, I want to get to shoot with some IR because that looks really cool. Tariq says, well, the gear is a weird topic to discuss because not only hardware but also softwares are super progressive nowadays. Yeah, that's true. Scott, I'm also saving my pennies for a Raptor. Good for you, man. You're going to have a blast with that. And boy, your video is going to be interesting. Yeah, here's a massage gun at 1,000 frames a second. You have to put sound effects in there to really make it. So, I mean, Raptor's definitely where I'm going, and it's Super 35 for me because love me some Super 35. Tariq says Komodo sensor is smaller. It is Komodo sensor is smaller than Dragon's, but Komodo sensor I believe is only like 2% smaller than Dragon. They're very close, but I think it is a different height though. Why go with the Super 35 rather than VistaVision? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yep, Brandon. So absolutely, I I have shot Super 35 for a long time. I shot full frame on stills cameras for a long time, and I really enjoyed the difference between the two. I would just literally go into video mode in my brain and shoot Super 35. I know what lenses to run, all that good stuff. When full frame came out, it excited me and it didn't. I love what it does, but the negative to it is you got to buy all new glass, and that was kind of hurting my pocketbook to go to full frame. But I was going to embrace it. I mentioned on here several times that I was going to basically be selling every piece of glass that I have and picking up a set of Sigma primes first because they cover full frame, and then I would probably launch into the Taquinas after that. The big advantage to Super 35 over the full frame is that I get to use all the glass that I know and love so well. I get to use that and keep that. That will save me money. Um, I don't know if you know how cheap I am, but I'm pretty cheap. Uh, I hope, I have no idea, but I hope that there is a potential for the price to be lower on it. If there is, it's even cooler than cool. Um, Super 35. Well, I enjoy living in that world. I was going to adapt to full frame. I was not going to have a problem doing it, other than the budget, and it had been slowing me down quite a bit, just because I'm having to do so much. So, or to get to full frame. That's really why it excited me more than anything. I was excited. V Raptor full VistaVision, uh, the all the boxes that checked were the frame rates, because frame rates is really what I'm after for a lot of the product stuff that I do, but also the low the the low noise, that how well it does in low light. That V-Raptor sensor is absolutely premium in low light. And then compact body, just so much that it does. And then resolution, it's 8K, which I'm ready to upgrade from 6K to 8K. I'm excited for that. Um, the the yeah, I was on board for V Raptor. It just financial along the way slowing me down, and now Super 35 coming out, and I think it's going to time really well, and it's not quite such a bite. It doesn't quite hurt my wallet so much. So that's why I'm going with that. Now, uh, a negative to Super 35 is, if you're into the super shallow depth of field, you're going to get more field of view on a VistaVision. You won't get it on Super 35. Also, low light performance. You're going to take a hit on Super 35 because the bit buckets are smaller. They have to be smaller in order to fit. So V-Raptor VistaVision is going to be better in low light than the Super 35. Now, to how much, I don't know yet. I have not gotten those details, but Jared basically said, he said this several times, and now I get why he keeps saying it. I get it now, because I was like, well, I don't quite relate what you're talking about. But he said, think about Monstro versus Helium. And I thought he was literally just meaning sensor size kind of thing when you're thinking about it. No, what he's really saying is, if you look at Monstro and you look at Helium, the performance that you gain out of the VistaVision sensor on Monstro, you get better low light, you get a little more dynamic range. All of that stems from it being larger. So going down to the Super 35, you're going to pay a little bit of a cost in probably noise. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near bad. I think it's going to be, well, I mean, it's not going to be near bad. It's going to probably be better than every other sensor, maybe not Gemini, but every other sensor that Red has made as noise output. Because if you look at V-Raptor versus Monstro, it's it's not it's not like day and night difference, but there's a difference you can see. So it's yeah. That, does that make sense? I went into a lot of detail. Hopefully that makes sense. Uh, howdy. Hello, Brandon. Happy Friday. Just wanted to say I picked up a used FS700 Odyssey combo for only 1K. Wow. Excited to goof around with 242K. Yeah, and you can do 480 on that, right? The FS700. Yeah, you could do 960 on that thing. Yeah, you can play around with it. I will say the Odyssey just like, what a what a beautiful pain in the rear monitor recorder that was. When you have to change and reboot and it takes like 3 minutes for everything, that was weird. But that'll be a cool thing to play around with for sure. Tariq says, I currently shoot a short and use both Micro Four Thirds and for daytime, and rented Komodo for one night exterior shoot, thinking it would look better with a bit bigger sensor and at T2. I'm interested to hear where you go from there. Is the new Alexa 35 4.5K? It is a 4.5K sensor open gate. Yes. um, I'll get you the actual specs. Alexa 35. Why did I go into that cloud thing again? That was weird. It's on downloads. Downloads Alexa 35. It's like a 4.6 or no, it's 4.5. I think it's literally 4.5 exactly. And that's open gate. You could actually shoot it open gate that way. Alexa. Alexa, where are you? I don't see you. I'll just do this thing called search. There it is. And we're going to go down here and we're going to zoom in. It is a 4608 horizontal by 3164 vertical. So you can get 4.6K. So it's 4.6, not 4.5. 3:2 open gate. There you go. Danny says, Kessler, the face tracking function of the Cine Shooter, long announced, but last feature to ship. Will this be iPhone powered? I believe so. I mean, it will function also with Android because it is. They make the app for both, and porting it over has not been that difficult for them. But stay tuned for some really, really cool stuff from them for City Shooter. And if you're a City Shooter owner, you're gonna like what comes in like soon, pretty soon. It's pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff. I can tell you. Well, actually, I think I can tell all of it. Pretty sure I can. I tell you what, I'm going to. I'm going to. Yeah, new firmware 2.5 is coming, like really soon. And you get the Dragon frame in there. You've got the inertia wheels. You got I got my Dragon frame. That's my dog. I got my Dragon frame. I've been having a lot of fun with the Dragon frames. You get they are using a new. Woo! There we go. There's my Starlink. Um, ooh, it's FedEx too. I'm gonna click on that and find out when it's coming. Um, so another thing, there's a bunch of stuff that you get. It works with DCC now, if you have DCC, but also with the regular City Shooter models, they have increased the resolution on it by a lot, which makes it a little quieter. It makes it far, far, far better for macro stuff. It's kind of amazing. So that's coming in like really soon. Um, but yes, it will be iPhone and or Android powered. Trick says it's going to sound funny to you, but the camera that made me happiest with the circuit opposite image was the Canon 5D Mark II. Even Komodo did not make me that happy. I mean, we get emotionally tied to cameras for sure. I enjoyed my 5D Mark III. I really enjoyed it when I converted it to Magic Lantern. I had a lot of fun with that. But I I have very few emotion. Yeah, I guess I can't say that anymore because I really do have some emotional. I don't have an emotional tie to the A7 IV or the A7S III. I think they're both fantastic cameras and they do a lot for me. I have an absolute emotional tie to my Komodo, just absolutely. And then my Dragon X back there, as many times as I keep saying I'm selling it, it ain't sold. I haven't listed it yet. And I haven't listed it yet because I keep using it and I keep loving it because Dragon is such a great sensor. I mean, I was just using it this past week. It was, I mean, it gets a heck of a workout. Woo, lots of confidence. Let me get through all these. I'm sorry. I'm neglecting by being too long-winded. Even my dog's not moving. That totally makes sense. So is the Super 35 Raptor the same specs as the Vista Vision version? Vista Vision version. Wow, I can't. All right, everybody say Vista Vision Vista Vision version. 5 times fast. You have to say it 5 times. You can't do it. You can't do it twice. Vista Vision. Yep, yep. Try it. 3 of you tried it, and you're laughing. 1 of you did not, and a bunch of you didn't. Vista Vision version. As I understand it, it should have the exact capabilities as the other one, but it will just have less low light performance. what am I missing here? Ollie says, to me, I highly dislike the use of large format, at least in recent movies. It looks cheap at this point. So many use the bokeh to hide shit. I mean, you're not wrong there. I have seen it used poorly. I've seen it used as clearly you just wanted to do that. I do enjoy the full frame, but I don't crave it as much as I uh, crave the Super 35. Justin, hello Justin. Late to the chat today. Hello everyone. Is Scott going to Alexa 35? I probably will not be buying an Alexa 35, but do understand that an owner op. So for the things that I shoot most of my stuff as the owner op, I really thoroughly love the Red ecosphere and everything about the Red. And it does more for me in my nature stuff and other things and products that Alexa cannot do. Like I've always said, I'm camera agnostic when it comes to shooting. I mean, it's the right tool for the job. As an owner op, I own a Red and will probably own a Red for a long, long time just because they do everything that I need and they can do more than the others. As for the Alexa 35, I think it's going to sell exceptionally well. I think you're going to see a metric poop ton of those on the market. And I think you're going to see some amazing stuff shot with it. It looks really, really good. It's a nice, well put together package. I mean, they didn't just like throw this thing together and stick it out there. I may get a chance to shoot with one at some point, and I will review it. But if I do, it will be a standalone review on this is what it can do. This is what I found it could do, that kind of thing. I won't be comparing it to other cameras. That's for you to do. Because and I've always done that. I've never compared this to that directly. I could compare specs, I could compare price and things like that. But I don't want to do a shootout of I wonder if that just got me demonetized nowadays. Of a direct camera to camera because all that would tell you is which one looked better in my circumstance. Your circumstance may vary. Each circumstance varies. Uh, yeah, so don't be afraid to shoot the right tool. And there's a reason that big movies they bring in all kinds of lenses and all kinds of cameras, and they try them all, and they screen test them, they see which one looks well, and which one do they like, and then they choose. So, yep. Beyond Nick. Hello, Beyond Nick. It was so nice to meet you. I got to meet Beyond Nick there on the floor of CineGear. And yeah, it was very nice to meet you. And yeah, it's cool. He was one of the ones that I got to run into. It was great. Ollie says, no, he's talking about V-Raptor Super 35. Yeah, the camera that I will be buying next is the Super 35 V-Raptor when it's made in the V-Raptor body, not the XL. Oh. Justin says, thanks. Well, really, Rex? You're not going to move at all? See, I've rearranged it here quite a bit, I'm condensifying. I like that word, condensifying. I'm bringing everything it's a little darker in here too. I'm sorry. I literally had my entire set torn down mostly for this week for a shoot. Needed a bunch of the stuff, so you gotta take the gear. So I've relit it just a little bit differently today. We're not doing an 8x8. We're doing a 4x4 right here, and it was looking really strange. And now I've got it too bright, and so the back is falling off too much. So yeah, well, I guess it looks okay there. It looks different on the Super Source for sure because it's cropped, so it makes it look like this whole area is all dark. I get it. Tariq says, well, Ariel F or Red Monstro or V-Raptor is the one if you'll release the image on the big screen theater. But to me, if it's on the small screen, Red Komodo, I mean, you can release anything on anything. You should not be afraid of that. I mean, To say that you must have one of those to release it on a big screen is to say that no movie has ever been released before these came. It's it's kind of it's a funny thing how we as humans just as we think. The analogy was explained to me about like hunting and camouflage. And people are like, "Oh, you got to have all the camouflage. You got to have this. You got to buy this brand, this specific brand, and blah 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 blah." And it was explained to me to say that you must have that in order to hunt means that before that brand ever existed, no one ever ate, and it's true. It's yeah. Alexa 35 is a 4.6. Yeah, it is. I was off by 0.1 Ks. I don't know why I had it in my head that it was not 4.6 because there was a lot of jokes about it being the Black Magic sensor, which it's not. But there's a lot of jokes about that at first. I thought it was funny. It says, nice. Beyond Nick, I think the S35 and VistaVision LF also come down to the look you're going for in the content. It's true. It's true. Ollie says, by the way, I switched my Laowa for a Cook 20-1. I like that lens. It's heavy. It's big, but wow, it's got a great classic look. So much nice for the same price and so much easier to rent. Really? I guess so. Yeah. I mean, the Cook weighs more than the even. But it does have that Cook look. That 20-120 is a really nice lens, and I for a long time had that in on a search on eBay, and sadly they kept going up in price. What did you end up paying for it? You switched for, I wonder if it was same price. Interesting. Because those Cooks here were getting like $5,000 and $6,000, which is sad. The first time I saw them, they were like $2,800. I should have jumped on that. That's a neat lens. Tariq says, Scott, is there any test video of your shoots on Raptor? Yes, there is. Go back on my YouTubes. I have a full review of it, and then I put out several test videos in 8K on here, especially 8K 120. I did a lot of that. Yeah, absolutely. Justin says, should I not buy a Kessler soon then? Wait until, oh, no, Justin, stop. It's firmware that the announcement is. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I mean, every company is working with stuff down the way, but I mean, Cine Shooter is here for a long time. It is entrenched and ready to rock the world. It just keeps getting better and better with firmware. So yeah, what's being released very, very soon, like a couple of days, that is firmware, and it just continues to check off all the boxes that they promised, and that's what Kessler's going to do always. Is they say it's going to do something, they're going to deliver it, and it takes time to check off all the boxes. But this one's got a whole bunch of stuff on it, and it's across the board. I mean, Dragon Frame's pretty slick. Dragon Frame's pretty slick. Let's see here. But no, you don't need to wait at all. There's not going to be any new physical products released for long time. But if you do want to purchase something really soon, please use my my affiliate link down below. And I think it still works. I think the coupon code still works. Let me look. I have a look. I mean, it's only 5% off. But it's 5%. I mean, who's not going to take 5%? Let me see here. Yes, the coupon code still works. It's not supposed to. Shh, don't tell them. Just don't tell them. Don't ruin it for everybody else. It's supposed to end January 31st. But yeah, use that. You get 5% off. Scott Balcom, just all one word. Tariq says, yes, I love the Dragon. I know, Dragon is just, it's just, the Dragon sensor on skin is amazing. I did 3 times. Oh, you did not, Tariq. No way. VistaVision version. VistaVision version. No. VistaVision. Reach says, I think Jared said it will be smaller in sensor size than the old. Yes, it is. I've physically put my eyeballs on it. It is, it's shockingly small to your eye because you're so used to seeing like Komodo, which is shockingly big. Let me just put on here. Doo, 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 doo. That's a dog. So you can kind of see that is, so it's not the, okay, so you can see the dark green in the middle. That is the, that's it, goes on this way. That is the actual sensor itself. The super source, where are you? There you go. That button's in a weird place. The Super 35 version is much smaller. I mean, it's tiny. It is true Super 35, so it's not like it's smaller. It is the exact dimensions of Super 35. I also I did get a chance. Let me do this because I love the opportunity. Yeah, what do you do, Rex? Oof, oof, oof-a-dee-doo. Here is my HDMI connection for you. I threw in an extra beat in that song, but you didn't notice because you sang along. VistaVision version is so much fun. And then the iPad goes ding right at the perfect moment. That's cool. Okay, so that goes in there. Let's see here. So I need to go here. Sorry, I'm just doing. Oh yes, thanks, Left. I just need to send over a couple files real quick to the. I gotta figure out what to send. Hold on, we're gonna send. Sorry. So I'll send this, and I'm gonna send this, and that. That should be good. Send that there, and then I'll. There we go. Click. Come on, there we go. Thank you. Okay, sorry, all prepared now. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did manage to get over and see Mr. Land. It was a very brief visit over there, but I mean, if I have an opportunity to see that man, I'm going to see that man because he's just cool. Plus, I got to see his office for the first time, and it's wild. It's exactly what I would expect of his brain. I described it to my wife as a 10-year-old boy's bedroom who has every toy out. And so you have these like little groupings of toys all over the floor. It's a big. I'm not going to just give away anything or say anything. I respect his confidentiality there. But it's just like the whole thing is freaking neat. It's a soundstage. The whole freaking soundstage is his office, and I mean, there's little projects stacked all over the place. It's hard to walk in there, but I was like going, oh, I'm just like a little kid in a candy factory, and it was really cool. But I got to see the XL. The XL is slick. It's really slick. It's not. It looks. It looks like it's bigger than Ranger, but it's not. It's smaller. It's weird. But the electronic ND in there, and it does, I think, third stops, or I think it could do quarter stops, but I think it's going to be third stops, and then it just pulls away. So A lot of people saw the little teaser video. Am I saying too much? I don't think I am. Maybe I am. Maybe I should shut my mouth. No, no, that I'm supposed to. I'll probably get a nasty text though if I say. But it is a variable electronic. It has steps because they just programmed them for steps. But people saw the little switch out and they're like, oh no, it's just got interchangeables. Nope, it's changing out between clear and the variable. It's pretty slick. I forgot where I was going with all that, but it's really the man has a freaking army tent set up in his office. it's it's hilarious. I got to see his little dog too. Um, Umbra, hello, Umbra. You're a bit late. It's okay, better late than never. Always better late than never. You have a great setup with red, so no need to change it for the sake of or cost of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I completely understand and agree. I feel like each red sensor also have a different look and feel. I definitely agree with that, Nick. I do. I've got a lot of love and fond memories of the Monstro look. And Monstro was the one sensor that tempted me away from Dragon, but I did not want to go to it and have the same frame rates, which is why VistaVision V-Raptor really, really tempted me really hard because it had the frame rates. It had the look of the Monstro, and I believe the Super 35 is going to have the same look, just not quite the low light performance. But I mean, it's not going to suck either. um, I want that Super 35 so bad. Editing Red Raw and Final Cut Pro X has made me a Red fan for life, as long as I can afford it. It is so interesting. Just talking to people in at CineGear, there are still a few people out there who I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm saying this in a positive. They need to actually to do this, but oh, there I am standing outside Red Studios. Do this in the right way. They say, "Oh man, it's way too much work in post." No, it's not. No, not at all. It's really easy in post. It's exceptionally easy in post, and you have a lot more capability and control. Control. Yeah, so, wow, I did hit the. I coughed, and I thought that was the mute. That's pretty funny. Um, Starlink's going to be here Monday. Sorry, I had to do that. Yeah, red is, I mean, the old days, they're gone. And the new Red City X, they got rid of rocket support. It's no longer needed in the world because PCs, CPUs, GPUs, Windows, Mac, they're all faster than you need. It's all like near real time, if not faster than real time. Man, I says, hey, great to meet you too, man. It was a pleasure. Indeed. I'm a lot taller than I look, don't I? That was several people that said that to me. They're like, oh my God, you're so much taller than I thought you were on camera. One guy, he, it was kind of funny. I was at Boca Reynolds in Southwest LA area. And I was there. I was chatting with several people, and a DP was checking out another camera over here, and he saw me on one of the big TVs that it was hooked to, and he thought, "That's funny. They're playing Scott's YouTube channel here," and he kind of laughed to himself, and then he looked at the image and he clicked. He's like, "That's here." And he looked around and found me. It's kind of funny. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're so much taller than I thought." Most movies are actually not shot on left VistaVision when you look at the stats. I mean, it depends. They can be formatted for sure. I even loved a French film called Lilou. I don't know French. Lila. Could be. Filmed on mini DV. Yes, PD 170. I remember that. It was awesome serving to the story. I mean, we've had films shot on iPhone 4, like the American movie Frozen River, filmed on HD tape 1080. I mean, look at Shane Hurlbut shot the war movie Act of Valor. Act of Valor. Was that it? I think that was shot on a Canon 5D Mark III. I think it's Act of Valor. Let's do Shane Hurl. And I am working on getting him on the live stream for. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get him in there. Was it an active? It was like 2008. Active Valor, yeah. So yeah, Active Valor. That was shot on a 5D Mark III, and that was in the movie theater, and people absolutely loved the way that looked. So it's definitely you can right tool for the job, and why was that right tool for the job? Small, it was small and compact. And they panavized it too. That was kind of interesting. So it's about the content. All right, Drake, there you go. Beyond Nick says 100%. Ollie says weight is not that crucial to me for Studio Zoom. Yep. Okay. Movi XL does handle it like a champ in combination with the Alexa SXT. I mean, yeah. I mean, SXT is big animal anyway. The extra 5mm on the wide end makes so much more of a one lens solution, and it does have. It has a very. It has the Cook look. I would say 90% of the Cook look, but it has a really nice flair to it. It's kind of low contrast. I like the way that looks. Um, I've got some business cards here of stuff to remind me to tell you guys about. It says, very cool, Scott. Sounds like it was an awesome visit to Red. It was. It was very short. The man is very busy. I managed to squeeze in just a few minutes with him, and it was worth every moment. Love that man. Electric in the info is out there, so I don't think you're in the hot. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes yeah. I feel like people who say it's difficult in post either haven't spent enough time getting to know the process or shooting 1 to 2 compress. I mean, you're right. I honestly think, and this is what I talk about here all the time: stigma. What I dislike in this industry is the stigma, and unfortunately, there's stigma in everything. Oh, I only drive a Ford, or I only drive a Chevy, or whatever. I drive a Mercedes or a BMW. The stigma of, oh, that's junk if it's not what I drive. I really dislike the stigma out there. I mean, I don't say ever that Alexa is junk. It's not junk. It's great. I don't say Red is junk. It's not junk. It's great. I don't say the post process on either is junk. I would say that the shooting raw on the previous Alexas is kind of a pain in the butt, but it's getting better and better and better, and now it's way better. Just like shooting raw on Red was a pain in the butt originally, but if you had enough CPU, you didn't care. Fortunately, I never had a slow computer enough to have a problem, even when I'm way back with the original Dragon. Plus, I never had these like preconceived notions that when I'm editing, I have to see it in full 6K while I'm editing. What's wrong with editing in proxies? I never edited in proxy. I would just switch it down to a quarter resolution. It'd be just fine. I had to do it once. I think it was 16th on Premiere on my little MacBook that I had. It was not very fast. But yeah. Doo-ka-doo. Let's see here. Tariq says, okay, well, I don't know how to pronounce the O with the 2 dots on it. It's French. Lolac. Got it. Ollie says, I dream of a Stanley Kubrick style lens collection at the end of my career. No, Ollie, if you're going to dream it for the midpoint of your career. See what it can do for you at that point? Yeah. And for those of you who are not on Facebook and don't follow me there or are friends with me there, I did post this question out there on Facebook. What camera do you think that Stanley Kubrick would be shooting on today if he was alive? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because, quite honestly, Stanley Kubrick is all over the map. He pushed the limits. He was a traditionalist. He did everything and anything. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but I'd love to know what your thoughts are. And if you like that question, let's give a thumbs up to this live stream because that'll help. If everybody right now went out there and just clicked the well, okay. Apparently that's maybe my stuttering will stop now. Apparently my ISPs had cyber attacks. Wonderful. Uh, but yeah, so only one of you liked that question. Come on, that was a good question. I got much better questions than apparently. I got to up my game here. Um, Brandon says R3D in Final Cut Pro X from Komodo is easier in post and to edit than most of the files coming from my C. Yeah, and if you have yeah like the C5, the C5. Oh, wait, it's not the C5. It's the totally blanking. But yeah, the 8K Canon. Why am I blanking? That camera. Um, I feel like I'm David Letterman. All right, let's see here when we get to the top of the show. And that's on my M1 Max. Yeah, M1 Max is a great machine for anything today, except for that Canon. Beyond says, couldn't agree more. I used to edit red footage on one quarter and the old MacBook Pro fine, and the only thing that takes a bit longer is the exports. It's true. Exports were a go and do something, but quite honestly, everything was that way, so we got used to it. Now, oh my God, am I a spoiled brat? When I export out like the MacBook Pro M1 Max, and you're like going, well, it just exported in faster than real time. Yeesh. Brandon, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate that. You're a good dude. You've helped me out a lot. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is very, very thoughtful, sir. Tariq says he was an Airy guy, so most likely he would shoot on Airy 65 digital. Well, he wasn't always, though. He wasn't always an Airy guy. He shot a lot of different stuff. I don't know. I think firmly he would have shot on the best red sensor Red had to offer at any moment. I believe quite certainly he would have shot on the Airy 65 and the LF. I think he would have shot on film still. I think he would have tried out every possible thing. That's my opinion. Jordan, hello, Jordan. Are you awake? You're not sleeping, are you? Don't make me pull up the pictures. Yeah, I can pull them up right now. How you doing, Jordan? Yeah, Jordan and we were hanging out at this speakeasy in downtown LA that had a hidden speakeasy back there. It was really slick. Got to enjoy some those things that I'm not allowed to talk about on here anymore. We got to enjoy some of those. It was great. I think Kubrick would be going through them all, but I imagine he'd probably go to Airy because he often drifted back there. But he drifted back there for film. What would happen? So like film did not necessarily have the dynamic range of today's digital cameras. Yeah, I don't think film did. Film, I think film was like 12 to 15 stops max. If I remember correctly, I don't know. I did not ever get to shoot on film. Well, not, I guess technically it's the same. I did on stills. I think Kubrick would have wanted to try 17 stops of dynamic range. I think he would have wanted to try Monstro and then V-Raptor and then now Alexa 35 or 17. I think he would be like, I want to see how I can destroy this sensor and see what he can do. Thank you, Beyond. R5. A pirate's favorite camera. R5. Dad joke, level 2. And actually, level three dad joke would be, what's a pirate's favorite letter of the alphabet? Yeah, R. Yeah, you would be thinking it's R, but it'd be the C. But okay, that's a dad level three joke. Again, Brandon, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Beyond Nick says, I've just switched to DaVinci. Yes. And the exports are blowing my mind. 15 seconds per three. What are you on, Beyond? What's your machine? DaVinci Resolve, folks. It's it's it is unstoppable. It is beyond it's beyond cool. And they just keep that at 18 is really it's even pretty stable for beta. I have not had very many problems with it. It is wow, am I pushing this table? Is that what I'm doing? That's what is happening. I was like, why am I not seeing the bottom? That's interesting. And it's getting cold in here. It's 100 degrees outside, but that new AC in here, gotta love it. Um, yeah, if you have not tried DaVinci Resolve, go download it. Go to Casey Ferris on YouTube and watch a few videos and just try editing any small video. It doesn't take near as long as you think, and then you get all the color correction that they have in Resolve. Ooh, well, y'all are just coming in fast now. MGM cameras earlier, but later always on Area and B&C are. Yep. Did he shoot on Bolex though? I thought he liked the Bolex as well. I think he would test camera for a year and then would choose Red Monster. I I honestly I think and Venice, he would definitely try Venice too. I think he would be the guy that had tried them all, or rather used them all. That's true. Maybe in a digital format, he would likely be more agnostic and just go for whatever the project called for. I don't know. Does that sound like Kubrick? That I don't know if that would. I don't know. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer because how do we know? It's all based on what we envision and such. Hey, buddy, what you doing down there? You gonna raise your head so people think you're alive? Rex, what you doing? Hey, he is fast asleep. Oh, there you are. What's that, buddy? What's that, buddy? And it says Kubrick would shoot on the iPhone to kill it. I mean, Apple says it's got cinema now, so there's no excuses. Ali says I think he would be very precisely choosing the camera depending on the shoot. Yes, I think so. Possibly most films with 50 different. I don't disagree there. I definitely think. I think you would find an excuse to shoot a project on every camera, and I think he would choose the right camera for the job. Yeah, I think that definitely is accurate. Because to be red camera or more cinema friendly than airy in many ways, it, that's subjective. I mean, the main reason airy is so popular. I don't know if it's the main reason. My opinion is the main reason airy is so popular today is that you literally could jump from a 35 millimeter airy into an Alexa, and very little difference in training. You didn't have to adjust anything. You shot it the same way, you exposed it the same way. The buttons were almost identical. I mean, it's cool. Uh, yeah, it's a direct slide, so there was no learning curve. Beyond says I used an M1 Max and a custom PC with 5950X with a 3090. Well, okay, Beyond, just out there just strutting his stuff. Yeah, I don't. That was weird. It's flashed when I did it. Yeah, 3090. I bet you that flies. And the 5950X, that's pretty powerful. Both can handle DaVinci like a champ. This is true. This is true. Tariq, why? Please explain. Oh, there you go. Bill Howard, Shyamalan just finished his shoot on film. Nice. I hope it's good though, because he's had some off ones lately. Why are red more cinema friendly? I think that's a fair question. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. In my opinion, red is a cinema friendly is dynamic range, Airy gives an airy look. Red gives look whatever you want based on the glass. Yes, I like biased on the glass and based on the glass. I think actually same word works on that, Nick. um, yeah, okay. Because how many digital layerings do you do on a red raw image? It still looks without artifacts, but Airy is not very streamlined piped camera for post production. Check out the films filmed on red. Um, I mean, Airy shoots on ProRes, except for the RAW, which is Airy RAW on the codecs. I don't think there's any problem with. I don't think there's any problem with Airy workflow. ProRes on a Mac has been really fast for many years. So, yeah, I don't know that I agree with that, Tariq, but I mean, it doesn't make your opinion any less valid. I'm just, yep, giving my 2 cents on that. They look so sharp on 72p on YouTube low. 18 has been great. I don't know what that means. You'll have to tell me what that means. Let me see here. Let me go through these business cards real quick and make sure I can talk about some. These are all the contacts I wish to have. Oh, the sorry. Boop. Oh, can't get ahead of myself. The Cine Lens manual. Uh, this is Holman, Jay Holman. I think I mispronounced it. I think I pronounced it and then mispronounced it, but nevertheless. And then Christopher Probst. This book it's insane. It is it's a book. It's like $175, but it is this thick, and it is detailed analysis of every cinema lens that they could find on the planet. And it's like the Bible for cinema glass. Yeah, it's a pretty penny, but if you want to increase your knowledge and understand about how optics play and how this one might play on this one, the book is insanely good. And I did shoot a video talking to Jay on that. Um, it's cool. So you should check that out. I think it's on Amazon. If it's on Amazon, use my link. I think it is. It may not be. It's $175. He was there signing them, which was kind of cool. I didn't have $175. Shot Deck. If you don't know who Shot Deck is, oh, there's a coupon code. I don't know if it expires. Oh, look, you're good. You're good. I'm not doing this officially. I mean, really, anybody can share this. 30% off. I have really loved Shot Deck. Shot Deck is great for previs when you put the right cameras up. When you're looking for inspiration for a shoot, Shot Deck, you can go out there and you can kind of search for like red hair, and then you can search for rocks. You can search for the color blue, forest, and you can see these are all stills pulled from movies that are in a relational database that allows you to search based on what you're looking for. And it gives you like a wide variety of visual inspiration. So you can say, oh, I was not thinking about shooting the forest that way, but I really like how this one was done. I'm going to do something similar to that. Yeah. And then this one, which is right here, rig packs. So if you shoot handheld and shoulder, he's probably like, why'd you put my card up there? But rigpacks.com. This is what I should do right there. I am going to be getting one for review. I'm not keeping it. I'm just getting it for review. This thing is slick. And I have no other way to describe it, but it is a way, it's a harness for your arm. So when you're shooting on your shoulder, you're not holding up the weight with your wrist. It's it's literally when you see it, you think to yourself, why the heck didn't anybody think of this before? What is wrong? Why people didn't come up with this? It's simple. It's very comfortable. And then it has another ace up its sleeve. You can shoot from the hip, but it's got a little handle that pops out, and you can put your camera right on the hip, and so you can get those kind of low handheld shots without having to hold it. It's phenomenal. Rig packs, check that thing out online. Give it a look see, but I will definitely be doing a review on it. um, Beyond Nick says, I think they're both cinema friendly as one as I've used them. Yep. Okay. Yep. DaVinci 18. Yes, I'm sure he means that. Yes, you're right. Yes, 18 has been great. Tariq, what area have you used that led you to problems with workflow? I work mostly as a focus puller, and I watch the video we filmed on the RE4K, but downres 1080 deliverables, and then see the red 5K downres to 1080. Looks like red does not lose res. I mean, it has to lose res, but it. I mean, between a red and an area in 4K, there's gonna be more detail and and less noise coming from 8K down to 4K than apples to apples. But my my thought process on resolution has been altered recently and basically completely corrected. And that I was wrong in the way I was thinking um, when it comes to resolution. So my thought was that 8K 8K on a bare pattern delivered to 4K would net you a full resolution 4K image versus a 4K at 4K with a bare pattern. And my thought process was because you're doing red, green, and then you're doing blue, green. You have way more greens than reds and blues. But that's not how it works in the real world. And I was happy to get corrected because I mean that's how we learn. Uh, the green pixel, yes, it is reading green and it's reading it for the value green and it's reading it for luminance, but it does not write a value for green. It writes a value for the average, or there could be several different models that they use to get to that pixel, but it looks at all the pixels around it and then it writes a value and a color for that. So theoretically, you're not going to get better. Now, if color subsampling in the case, then yes, that can happen. Like a 420 image versus a 444 image, going from a higher resolution down to a lower resolution, you will fill out your 444 color. Um, so back to when you down res with more info to start with, you can get better results. They look like it's better quality. Yes, but not necessarily. To take it to the level of where that absolutely will happen is if you used a single wavelength light. In other words, not a white light, not a red light, but a single wavelength of red. If you put that into a camera, then the green sensor cannot read that because it doesn't have any green in it. And that's kind of, if you look at the prismatic effect of color, it is, there is some red and blue. There's some red and green. There's some green and red. There is some green and blue, and there's some blue and green. There's almost never, if not ever, any blue in red. That's why they can use the green to help understand the luminance and the value of red, because you'll find green in more of anything than you would of a single color. But if you had a single wavelength of red, then it would only be able to read the red pixels. That's how it was explained to me by an exceptionally brilliant man, who put it in a way that it completely corrected my brain. All I can say is don't mess with Graham. Let's see. When you down res, okay, let's see. Shot deck is awesome for grading too. Yeah, for getting looks, exactly, yes. I use it a lot for pre-production and pre-viz. I've not thought about grading. That's brilliant. I'm sure that's really what they intended as well, but I had not thought about that. I did. I mean, I look for the look that I want, but I haven't actually done it while I'm grading. I do not say Airy leads to any problems. It is good on its own manner. I get the impression when I watch it for 42 monitors and that's sweet. Okay, it's not an experimental outcome I derived. Besides, I'm okay with any image. Yeah, I mean, it's totally cool. I mean, there's a bunch of you out there right now. I mean, just hard truth right now, who did not click on the like button on this video. Did you not like it? You a big scatty cry. Look at Rex. Rex is like, he says, I'll tell you what, if I can get Rex to pop up, maybe everybody click like for Rex. Hey buddy. Psst, psst. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up? What's up? You say hi. You say hi, buddy. You say hi to the camera. You say hi. That's my bubby boy. That's my boy. Oh. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? That's my big boy. You can see just how big this dog is by looking at me compared to the dog. That is a big boy, aren't you, puppy? You good boy? Give me a shake. A shake. Shake. Give me a shake. Give me a shake. Shake. There you go. That's my boy. Ooh. There you go. All right. All right. Did everybody click like? I want to see a bunch of likes. Let's see what we got. No one liked that. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we tried. Actually, did any of that show up? Yep, it did. Okay. Okay, we're all caught up with the questions. Who's got more questions? I'm waiting for the sinuses to go away. Please go away. I want the sinuses to go away. Brandon says, Scott, I got a Komodo exposure question. All right. Obviously, ideally, no lights on the stoplight tool. Gotcha. But it seems like the yellow light is always lit no matter what. Am I better off ending down into the shadows and lighting those up? Okay, so there are always potential situations where you have to forfeit one or the other. I mean, if you are shooting a person standing under a dark tree and the sun is backlighting them, and I mean, you've got way more dynamic range there than you can actually capture. So in that scenario, you need to determine what do you want more. What is more important to me in that situation? I would say, well, I'd probably want the what's in the tree, because can't find that button ever. Oh, he just like turns. Hey, you can see a shark. You see a shark on his rear? It's funny. In that case, and almost sounds like, honestly, in that situation, did you have the sun in the picture? Because the sun is extremely bright. And quite honestly, there's not a whole lot of levels to the sun itself. So you're not going to, like, if you expose for the shadows there, and you blow out the sun by 3 or 4 or 5 stops or so, no one's gonna mistake that. Oh, what is that? What is it? Is that a star? Is that the moon? No one's gonna mistake it, because the sun is so brilliantly bright. We're not going to obviously just stare at it. And even when we're watching in movies, we try not to stare at the sun. It's kind of funny. It's a psychological thing. So in that case, you need to decide what is most important, and you light for that. I'm a sucker for skies. So I'm almost always exposing so that I can pull my skies out. But if the subject matter is in shadow, then I've got to expose for that. It's just got to happen because you need it. Um, Now, if I can get it all, then I feel like I've won the lottery. I mean, that's literally what happens if I can stick an indie on there and I am not introducing noise. So, you got the goalposts on either end. No, you don't have goalposts on that one. Goalposts are on the DSMC2. On that one, you got the. So if you're not in shadow, if you got no noise in shadow, then yeah, I don't know why. I've been shooting on the Dragon all week, so I'm back to goalposts. Um, the um, you got the bars that go up, and then the stoplights, same top and bottom. As long as you're not blowing out your shadows, then you'll be fine on that. So subject matter on that is probably really important to decide that, but just cater towards what's more important. Um, because if you don't need the sky, if it's not important, then and you need those shadows, then go towards that. Tariq says, actually, to me, it is like on a personal note, if they pay me to shoot a wedding, I film it on GH5. But if they pay me to shoot a romance feature, yep, there you go. I shoot on a mini. If they pay me to shoot sci-fi, I would go for a red camera because it's more of what I do. I would probably shoot sci-fi with an 8K red for sure. Frosty, hello Frosty. When are you buying the new Airy? I'm probably not going to buy a new Airy. That being said, I won't not shoot with it because anytime I'm on a job, I mean, I shoot with whatever they want to shoot. If I have say so in it, I will choose the right tool for the job. Um, yeah, I think the area is fantastic, and I think it's going to do really, really well. It doesn't fit me, resolution, frame rate, uh, that kind of stuff. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me as an owner op. So yeah, it's red for me. I'm a happy boy. I've been in the hospital away from. I'm back on the mend. Well, I hope you feel better, Frosty. I really do. You can look at the bars at the sides at your current settings. They indicate the percentage of the image that is under or overexposed. It doesn't have. See, now I need to know. I mean, I glance so quickly nowadays. I'm turning it on. Because I like on DSMC2 goalposts. So you see the goalposts rise up and the stoplights is how I do it. And then I try to explain to people when they shoot with red, people like to make it look right on camera, and it's nice. But that's really what a LUT is for. What you really want is to make sure it's exposed right for red, because you can do anything you want in post if all the data is there. And that's something that it's a bit of a learning curve for people. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's the shadows, yeah. So if you right, you had me questioning myself. So these are the shadows, and then there's your stoplights on the bottom, and then your stoplights on the top. So there's did I just go black? What just happened? Oh, there's the camera. That was weird. I don't know why I did that. Um, so if you have, let's just pull this off and watch the magic happen. Oh, look at that. We just magically went to, see, now we're bringing these down. Got the stoplights in full effect. Nope, we don't have any stoplights in effect. Oh, that's the color. There we go. And now, oops. So you can see that. No, let's try that. There you go. So you can see now we're at full stoplight on the highlight side, and you see the at the top. So if we start to cover this, you can see right now we're dealing with the color yellow. So I mean, it's instantaneous. There we go. So that is starting to clip, is what it's starting to do, and then that's a hard clip, and then that is really noisy, is what that would be. So yeah. Expose for your subject. Aiden. Hello, Aiden. How are you? Brandon says, that makes sense. I know you can change the ISO in post, but does change the ISO up and down on the camera affect the image that's actually captured? No. On a red, ISO means nothing. It absolutely means nothing. All it is metadata. So if, let's say I'm shooting something really dark and I want it to look really dark. So I'm going to have it really, really subdued down. Uh, your ISO, you may be you might be at regular like Komodo, you'll be at 800. But now that it's so dark, now you can't see the full focus. So it's completely fine to go boost it to 3200 ISO and shoot the whole thing. And that way you can see the image on there. It'll look noisy. It'll look like garbage, blah, blah, blah. Back in post, switch it back to whatever ISO you want, 800, and you're good to go. The only thing that matters on red is the histogram. That is the only thing that matters. And then they give you the clipping and the noise indicators, so you can fine tune where that is. And then when it comes to humans, what really matters most there is getting the right IRE value on false color on skin. And it does depend on whether it's a very dark skin or a very light skin. You'll have to adjust that some, but that's what I do. So I expose for the skin, and then I look at my other problems. My other problems, okay, my shadows are really noisy, then I need to bring up ambient. So I need to get some more light in there or do something to bring up some ambient. Oh, I'm clipping over here. Well, so now I probably need to put on some ND, which brings my overall my overall image down. Now I'm not clipping, but now my skin tone is really dark, so I need to add some light to the talent. That's how we're thinking when we're processing for shooting on a red. On Alexa, it is not metadata, so keep that in mind. Boom, boom, boom. Brandon, ISO doesn't change the way. Yeah, guys, a sneaky question. What's the daily rates there for a focus puller? Any first ACs? I mean, I hear it depends. I mean, 500 to 750 plus kit fee is about what I hear normally around in my area. They have 3 little bars on the Komodo. I always find telling people to shoot with the ISO set like the film you would use, and then you can have an easier time understanding it. Yeah, I tend to shoot with on like Dragon. I shoot at 400 ISO, mostly because I want to see what it looks like there, because I know I have all of it in there, but I like the darker image on there. But it really has no effect. I like to know what it's going to look like, even though it has no effect. It's kind of funny. E.g., you'd probably shoot a daytime scene using a low ISO film stock. Yes, you would. He agrees with Nick. Or if you want more sensitivity to the shadows, then I would shoot at a higher ISO film stock, e.g. 800. Yep. And you have that ability. And so let's say you shot it at 800 and you have it set to 800 and you've got it lit so that your subject matter is in the middle and it's right at the correct IRE, but you've clipped and you've got noise in your shadows. So, and you go back to post, you can bring down the highlights, but if you've hard clipped, there's no highlights to bring down. So that's not going to come down much. In the shadows, you can boost the shadows, but you're going to bring in noise. So you could change everything, and it's kind of similar to moving the ISO, but not necessarily. I mean, there are times when I shoot and say 400 on the Dragon, and it's exposed right, but I'll pull it down to like 250. By pulling it down to 250, I have a heck of a lot more dynamic range in that I can use to get the parts that are more important to me. Or you can go up higher if you want to bring out your you go higher for your highlights, you go lower for your shadows. It's counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. Unless I'm completely wrong, but I am fairly certain everyone has corrected me on that. You shoot high ISO for highlights, you shoot low ISO for shadows. It's counterintuitive, but that's protecting your shadows. You shoot low ISO to protect your shadows, you shoot high ISO to protect your highlights. The histogram is ISO dependent, though. It is not, Nick. The histogram has no bearing on ISO at all. And you can quickly check that. Just tap that ISO. That histogram will not move, not one bit, which is great. That's why I say use the histogram. The bars and traffic lights are raw readout. That is correct. Okay, hear me out. Let's say I shoot two clips, one at 800 and one at 400, but set to identical exposure. Okay. In post, if I bring down the 800 clip to 400, will it look exactly like the one shot in 400 in camera? Yes, because with red, not any other, but with red, the ISO is irrelevant. So you said identical exposure. So identical exposure is not what you see on the screen. It is what the histogram reads. It's what the IRE reads. IRE is not going to change based on ISO. No, it's not. I had to double check myself there. No. So red ISO, you can move it any way you want. So you say shooting at 800 and 400, identical exposure. Technically, when you shoot the one at 800, if you shot the 400 first, the 800 is going to look brighter if it has identical exposure. If you shot the 800 first and then go to 400, the 400 is going to look darker. In post, they're identical. You can always move them either way. 800, sorry, voice to text. You can voice to text YouTube? I never tried that. Yo, Eric Kessler. Hello. How are you, brother? Hello, friends. I'm in. Hey, Lewis. Good to see you. Here, $50 for 18-hour shoot. Oh, my gosh. Beyond says the main thing with red is shooting for the traffic lights. And I think people who don't do post on reds find that trick to understand. Yes. Try to stay within the traffic lights up until the point where you can't, while maintaining the correct exposure for skin, unless there's no skin. Then you don't care. How are you doing, Scott? Are you back from your trip? So happy to see you. I am doing pretty good. I feel great. I've got a sinus infection from the Sahara dust storm in Texas that has made our air quality horrible. Plus, it was probably me being in a dry climate in LA for a week and then coming back here to a humid and now dusty storm cloud. I mean, literally, I walked out of the airport and my nose just kind of went. I was like, what in the world? And I got in my wife's car. I was like, why did my nose just clog up? She goes, oh, the Sahara dust storm. I was like, wow, it's really interesting. Great to know about the histogram. Was never sure. I know, Nick. I feel you. And I literally have to go into my brain and retell the stories that were told to me, exactly explained how to do it by the people who absolutely know. But I just do it intuitively now. I look at my histogram like on my Dragon. I mean, I look for goalposts. I look exactly where it's supposed to be. I tend to expose. Just depends on where it is. If I'm going for shadows or highlights, but I don't I don't ever let it go into to noise in the shadows because those are just the hardest to get rid of. I've always found that reds, the highlights are so forgiving. I pull skies out of there like crazy. I need to refill my drink. Oh, the dog left. Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, I have to make a drink. Well, that'll be fun. This will be today's Foley artist with Scott. Name that sound. Let's see what we got here. We have that sound. Everybody put in your first comment. What the? That's weird. Now this. Got it? Got your thing. Now this. Everybody got your answers? Okay, now this. All right, begin. All right, your answers. Here's another one, a bonus trip. This is not Foley with Scott, by the way. It's just how to kill time while he's over here wasting time on live stream. Everybody on the planet sitting on my live stream while I'm making a drink. That is some low quality live streaming, isn't it? Everybody who thinks I shouldn't be doing this right now, go ahead and click the like, the thumbs up button. Almost done. Almost done. I'll be there just one moment. Got to refill this water. I need the drink so bad I'm coughing. Yes, indeed, I'm coughing. I do like the fact that wireless lavs, though, on live streams, and so many people don't use them, and I don't understand. Because when they have to go and get something off camera, you can't hear them anymore. You have no idea if they're even there. But with a wireless lav, I mean, we all just kind of hang out together. All right, here we go. Will you do more self music video clips? Yes. Yes, I have one. I have one that I have one that's very Beastie Boys ish. But when I was writing the lyrics for it, I don't like it. It is. You know what? Let's see here. Let me see if I can play this. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I have it here that I can play. I will have to hook that up. Let me see. Let me find it. Because I can play it because it's my daggum, it's my song. No copyright infringement. Let's see. Let's see. Let me make sure it is the right one. Not that one. No, not that one. There we go. Let's see here. Oh, I can't play that one because it's... No, let's see. Let's try this one. Let me see if they'll play. Maybe they probably won't. Why is it not playing? Really? It's not going to play? people. I'm not. There we go. There we go. Ah. Okay. I think we have it. Are we back? Are we back? Says I got fixed. Yay! Oh God, that was weird. Y'all probably never even got to hear the song. That's kind of sad and funny at the same time. Um, I do kind of want to I want to demonstrate the exposure for everybody with the dragon here. I feel like that's a good learning experience. Not to say that anybody needs to be trained on this. I'm just saying for people who don't know, it's cool to see, and for people who do know, then you can answer before I do. Let's see. We'll take that one. Yep. Okay. So, we'll powder up the red. We'll power up the red. We'll sing a little song, and then it's all gone. Like the internet. Yes, Starlink comes Monday. I saw that. Couldn't come sooner, could it? Do. Boop, boop, boop. Now, what am I about to show here? So, I guess you never got to see the Beastie Boys, but okay. Let's see. Wow, let's see. What did I miss down here? Okay, I'm going to test it out. I'm pretty much always at 800 and use ND to hit my exposure once I know what frame rate and aperture I want to shoot at. Yep, that is correct. That is the correct way to do it. Just got back from the hospital. Grandma had a heart attack and is currently stable condition. We are thankful. Oh gosh, sorry about that. I hope she's getting better fast on that. Your Kessler roll music video is a master. Did y'all get to hear? Did y'all get to hear the song or not? Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. 100% agree about those highlights. It always blows my mind how much is retained. Yes, indeed. Was it a Soda Stream? Yes, Nick, it was. Spritzer, yes. Soda Stream. Lewis says, Scott, I wanted to ask, do you always shoot raw or do you ever shoot regular? It's ProRes on a red. Sorry, hold on. To answer your question, I never shoot ProRes on a red. Never. I always shoot raw. Unless you're dealing with a producer that just won't listen. Then you got to do what you got to do. And I have worked on that. And in my case, I was DIT, but the 4 extra hours of overtime, I know they didn't really enjoy that much because, that cost them in the end because we had a Dragon 6K and we had a Helium 8K, and they were like, well, we don't want the file sizes of the red raw, so we're going to shoot it in ProRes on the 8K. And I said, okay, so ProRes, which will be 4K, not 8K, the file sizes will be much larger than the 8K in red raw. They're like, no, that's not. Mm-hmm. And yep, they got bit. They got bit by it at the end of the night with the 4 hours of overtime while I waited for the terabytes and terabytes of ProRes data to copy. Also, they didn't give me SSDs. So, Nick, I had a friend ask me, why would you buy a Komodo? And then I sent him a clip of destroyed footage from Yosemite and I sent him the video of me recording. He's like, it's awesome. It is. I mean, so Brandon, that Komodo is your first red, right? The other cameras from Red, like V-Raptor, it's on another level from Komodo. Komodo is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with Komodo, but it's 15 stops of dynamic range. It does have global shutter, which is beautiful. But like Dragon is at least 16, 16, 16 and a half, depending on who you talk to. Uh, the V Raptor is 17-ish plus. That is a lot of dynamic range. Oh, there's me. So true. Uh-oh. Starlink coming Monday. Yeah, I had it. Monday. Monday, Monday, Monday. There we go. No audio, not yet. Standing by. Uh, Still spinning wheel of death. It's being very strange. Yep, that was it. Try turning it off and on again. If I do that, it would actually kill the stream, which is weird. I always so I use StreamYard, which is web based here, and then it goes into YouTube Studio, and I always keep them both open for that exact reason. StreamYard freaked out, and YouTube was still open, so I left it open and I continued to chat in there to keep it alive, and it worked. Fixed. Your gravy. Thanks. All right, we're back. We're back, baby. Let's do it. I want to get better. Okay. Um, so let's always raw, baby. Yeah. Let's that's really, 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 really. We're gonna have to turn this down. There we go. Don't look at. We're gonna keep this out of focus on purpose. And by out of focus, I mean let's just focus it. Okay. Now what I need. Oh, I have the perfect thing. Reds are really huge, by the way. So right here we have our. Oh, Chris Vandersheef. Everybody give him a thank you for this because my day is so much happier now. So right here we have our histogram. This is a goalpost for highlights. This is a goalpost for shadows. This are your three stoplights. Now Komodo is just a little bit different. We'll do it next. But if we go in here, I want you to pay attention. So you see this. I'm gonna leave my finger right here on the spike. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna click to 800, and it's right back where it was. It moved, but it's not. It comes right back where it was, even though my fingers pressure. But I mean, it doesn't actually do anything because exposure. See, it comes right back where it was. Because it's having to process this histogram, but oh, you saw the exposure does not change. Go down to ISO 250. Notice we don't have any stoplights, or we don't have any stoplights over here. We don't have any goalposts going. If I bring the exposure down, I'm using the iris. I'm just using the iris here. So if I bring it down, you see how the exposure goes down, 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 and then we get to goalpost. See right there? All that is noise. So you can get an idea of how much you're losing in the noise. Pull it way, way down. That's 100% noise right there. Now let's see if we can clip something. That might be harder. No. What we'll do is we use the flashlight of the phone. So let's bring it in. See the stoplights go? This is a white light, so we should clip all of them, and we do. Boop, boop. I can do. Can I? Yes, I think I can. I can give you a version to show the clipping differently. This will be kind of interesting. I don't know if I have enough. I don't know if I have enough brightness to do this. This one is the. Okay, this is a silicone 2 or sulfur 2. Sorry, sulfur 2. So light's going to pass through here. Let's see if by doing this, if I can clip it. There we go. Notice I'm not clipping all of them. I'm only clipping the red and the green. Now, if you remember, red and green share space, which means there is green and red. So notice we're clipping both red and green, but we're not clipping blue. So I can make it clip blue. There's no blue information there. There's the blue, no blue. Because this is this little filter right here, which, I mean, so you can see just how much light is not getting through there. This is a sulfur 2 filter. And this is for astrophotography because there are interesting wavelengths in galaxies and nebulas. Nebulas. Let me put this back in here because they're not labeled. And I'll have to go and do some measurements to find out which one it is. This is oxygen. This is an O3, okay. What color do you think is going to clip on this one? This is an oxygen 3. I'll let you look at the filter. What color do you think is going to clip on this one? Put your guesses in now first before I do it, because this is fun and I'm enjoying this. I've never put astrophotography filters on a live stream before. So beyond you say the histogram changes, but the far ends don't move. It's not. It doesn't actually change. What happens is it recalculates it and resets it because it's trying to display based upon the information that's given, but it's metadata. So it will move and then come right back. This is what I kept saying, coming right back. The histogram does not actually move. It's moved it and then it's recalculated it and put it right back. Let's see here. Thanks, man. I want to shoot raw now. I'm just so afraid of all there's no post-processing problems, Lewis. None. I'm telling you. A simple computer nowadays can do it. I'm often disappointed because I nail the exposure in camera and have no reason to play with the raw settings in post. You know what? I edit. You just need to be more creative. Maybe you need to look at it through the eyes of a blue-green colorblind person. Maybe color it that way. That's where the raw will really come in. So side note, do you know if there is any way of fixing the screen tearing on the 7-inch monitors without rebooting? No. You're talking about the diagonal, the screen tearing that goes like this? No. The only way is a reboot. And sadly, it does record the screen tearing, and I don't know why. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that they've never been able to nail down the issue because it happens so sporadically. It happens to me maybe once a year, really. I remember the first time I saw it, I freaked out. But yeah, you have to reboot is the only way. But I don't understand, why is it that it records that screen tearing? Is it possible to help me understand the post-production workflow with raw video? So film first, then convert. No, you're completely off, Lewis. You film, you take the video footage, and you put it straight into. So first, Lewis, you can go to red.com, go to the support section. There are several R3D clips you can download. These are all shot by some amazing people that shoot for Red. You can download them and you can play with them yourself. There's 5K, there's 8K, there's all kinds of footage. They're all the full raw. So you can test this yourself. But all you do, bring it into the editor of your choice. All of them support Red Raw. And when you're in there, it shows up. It looks exactly like you shot. It looks exactly like you shot because everything that you put in, all the metadata. So when I go in here and I go into image and I'm in the image pipeline and I tell it I want IPP2 and I want Rec 709 color space and I want medium contrast and very soft, all of that is written to the file as metadata. So when you bring it in, it just reads the metadata, goes, this is the way you had it looking, and it gives it to you. Now, if you want to change something, you click on the Camera Raw tab, and you adjust what you want. You adjust the the you can adjust the color temperature. It's instantaneous. Just slide it however you want. It's raw, so you're not. It's not like taking a picture and then trying to change the color afterwards. You're just adjusting the raw data to the visual output that you want. So there's no loss in changing your color temperature for your white balance. Same thing with ISO. You want to change the look a little bit to push it. Just change it in post. No big deal. What you can't change compression ratio in post. You can't change your frame rate in post, but ISO and color you can do, and then you can do some other things. You can push the colors individually in RAW, but it's like shooting on a stills camera and shooting in RAW mode. It's the same workflow. The difference is RAW and red. Most everybody else, the ISO is locked, which should tell you something. Yeah. Do 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 do. Uh, I'm still waiting for everybody's guesses on the Oxygen 3. What color is going to clip on it? Come on, put your color. We've got three. We got red, green, and blue. Which color is going to go for Oxygen 3? Um, okay, so it's easy. It's not easier than my R5 and C70. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I just throw a conversion LUT from red on it, and it's basically ready to go. Just a few tweaks. Yeah. So if your color did it, just it didn't lock again, did it? I'm still here. I'm still here. Tweaking internet.